Alright, this is a video to finish talking about 4.3, and then it will also include lesson chapter 4.4. Alright, let's suppose that we have this blue equation. Right now he's in point slope form, and I want to change him to standard form. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. That a has to be a whole number. The a also has to be positive. So if we get a fraction or we get a negative, we have to change it. Alright, so we've got two options with this blue guy. The first option is I could distribute the 1/4 to each person. But if I do that, I'm going to get a 1/4 x, and that 1/4 x is going to move to the other side, and he's still going to be a fraction. So I don't like fractions. So although I could distribute, it's not my favorite method. I think what we should do is get rid of the fractions altogether. If I multiply the left side and the right side by something that will make that fraction go away, everything is legal as long as I do it to both sides. So I want to make this 4 go away. Let's multiply by 4. Each side gets multiplied by the same thing. And when I'm done multiplying, here's what I end up with. Let's figure out how I did that. I did 4 times y. I did 4 times 4. I did 4 times a 4th, which made since the numerator was a 1, made the whole fraction go away, and I only had the 1/5. Now you might be saying to yourself, why didn't she distribute the 4 to the x plus 5? If I were doing this with all numbers, let's say I had 2 plus 9 or 2 times 9. If I wanted to multiply this by 4, then I have to multiply. I have 2 times 4 and 4 times 9. But over here, if I want to multiply this by 4, whenever you have 3 things that you're multiplying, you can multiply 4 times 2 or 4 times 9, but you don't multiply 4 times both. Plus sign, you distribute it to both. Times sign in the middle, which is what these are smushed together, they mean multiply. You just pick. You could either do 4 times 2 or you can do 4 times 9. I can either do 4 times a 4th or 4 times x plus 5, and I pick 4 times a 4th because that was the whole point of getting rid of this fraction. Alright, now I'm ready to rearrange. I want to move my x's to the other side. I want to move my 16 to the right side. When I move my x's to the other side, it becomes negative x. I still have my 4y. When I move my 16 to the other side, I'm subtracting 16. He's a negative 16, and that would be negative 11. Now, the second thing I said about this is the leading coefficient cannot be negative. It has to be a whole number, and in this case, it became a whole number 1, but it doesn't always have to be a 1. It just has to be a whole number. It can't be a fraction. It also can't be negative. So if I change the sign of the first guy, I change the sign of everybody. It's like multiplying both sides by -1. You don't have to write that. You can just know to yourself, if I change one, I change all. This is now in standard form. Try this question by yourself. Don't distribute the 3/2. Multiply both sides by something that will get rid of the 2 on the bottom. Then rearrange so that x is first. You don't want x to be negative. So remember all those rules. Hit pause, work it out, then hit play and see if you were right. Final answer is 3x minus 2y equals 5. So did you multiply both sides by 2? Distribute the 2y plus 6. Multiply this side by 2, which really just means multiplying 2 by the fraction. The 2's went away, so I still had a 3. Since I still had a 3, I distribute 3. Oh, I didn't do it right. Okay, just kidding. Let me pause it and fix it. Alright, so it should have been a 3 in the back. Rearrange, so I move my 3x to the left, he becomes negative. Move my 6 to the other side, he becomes negative. 3 minus 6 is -3. I don't like my leading coefficient to be negative, so I change him, which means I have to change every single person. There it is in standard notation. All right, let's do lesson 4-4, not 4-3, but 4-4, which is all about parallel and perpendicular lines. Parallel and perpendicular lines will have something special about their slope. So let's look at the slope of these two lines. I'm going to put the slope in a different color. The slope of these two fractions is 2. The slope is 2. The slope is -1/2. When the slopes match, then the lines are parallel. When the slopes are opposite reciprocals, then the lines are perpendicular. So not only does it have to be like positive and one's negative, if this is 2, this is the reciprocal, the flip of that. Instead of 2/1, it's now 1/2. Who cares what's at the back? That does not matter to us. In fact, it can't really match because it'd be the same line. So the back numbers don't have to match at all. We don't care about that. All we're focused in on are the slopes. Are the slopes the same? Parallel. Are the slopes opposite reciprocals? Perpendicular. Let's graph each of these and prove that they're parallel and perpendicular. So I'm going to color code the first equation purple. Remember, my first dot is at 4, and now I'm going to use the slope up to right 1. There's the purple line. Started at 4, up 2/1, up 2/1. I can always go negative, 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 negative. Now I'll do blue. Blue starts at -5 on the y-axis, and blue also goes up 2/1, up 2/1. These two lines are parallel. They will never intersect with each other. Let's do these. I'll do a purple, I'll do a blue. We'll show that they're perpendicular. All right, blue and purple are perpendicular. They make a 90-degree angle to each other. Purple started at 4, up 2/1. If I had only done this piece of the purple, though, it would have never connected with the blue. So it's nice to keep the pattern going until it keeps coming down here and crisscrosses with our other line. And then the blue started at -5 and went up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2. I could have went down and right, but that piece would not have crossed. So I kind of knew that I needed to go in this area, so I went up and left, up and left. These two lines are now perpendicular. Same slope, parallel. Opposite slopes, one's positive, one's negative. One's 2 and one's 1/2. Those are perpendicular. All right, so now the book's going to give you a question like this. They want you to write an equation in slope-intercept form. They want it to go through -3, 5, and they want it to be parallel to this line. So, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. This is the I know 3, find b. What 3 things do you know? Well, you should know x. X is -3 because it came from the ordered pair. 5 also came from the ordered pair, and m is the slope. Well, if we want it to be parallel, that means it's going to match. So our slope is 2. I don't have to do any work to find it. I just have to know parallel means matching, matching. Now I can find b. Here's how I'm starting it off. See if you can finish it before I do. I ended up with 11 as my b, so my equation in slope-intercept form is y equals 2x plus 11. Remember, my slope was 2 because it was parallel, and my b was 11 because I did all this math. All right, try this one. They've given you a point, they want it parallel to this line, and they want it in point-slope form. Pause it, work it out by yourself. This one is not the same as last time. That was slope-intercept form. This one is point-slope form. Hit pause, actually do it. All right, so in point slope form, I need to go the opposite of my y. So my y is -1, so now this will become +1. My x is +4, so he's -4. The slope is 1/4. It's going to match because we want parallel. And I'm done. That's it. Okay, new question. They've given you a point. They want a new line that's perpendicular to this line. They want it in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form, know 3, find b. Well, I know my x is -4, I know my y is 6, but I don't know my m. This is not super easy, I can't just look at it, so I'm going to have to rearrange that guy in order to, he needs to be in slope-intercept form also. Once he's in slope-intercept form, then I'll know my m. Push pause, work it out, see if you can do it before I do. Alright, so I rearranged. I moved my 2x's to the other side. They became -2x. I divided everybody by 3, so to get rid of that 3. So here is my, here's my m. But because it's perpendicular, I need to flip it to 3/2. And because it's negative, I need to make it positive. Now you know 3, find b, then write it in slope-intercept form. I'm going to work it out. You try to beat me to it. Alright, I figured out b was 12, so I put y equals m times x plus b. I crossed out my, my people here, and I ended up with a -6. Add 6 to both sides, and I get 12, so b is 12. Y equals, remember I wanted 3/2, positive 3/2, because he has to be perpendicular to this guy, positive 3/2x plus 12. Alright, let's try these two questions. Well, really one question, these two equations. We have 2x plus 7 is equal to -35. 4x plus 14y is equal to -42. They want to know, are these parallel, perpendicular, or neither? So, our steps are we need to rearrange so that they both say y equals mx plus b. Then I can look at the m's. And if the m's match, or the m's are opposite reciprocals, or the m's are neither. Alright, here I go. You try to do it before me. Rearrange those guys. So I rearranged and I got -2/7 x minus 5. Y equals -2/7 x minus 3. So are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Parallel. The slopes match, so they are parallel. Alright, so that is the end of lesson 4.4. This lesson's not going to have any video questions. It's just to help you learn 4.4 again if you want to hear it a second time. Alright, good luck.